Hello, Tom Frezza here from the Naval History and Heritage Command with another Artifact Spotlight. This is where we take a look at the Navy's timeline and pull out different artifacts from that timeline and teach you about them. And today we'll be focusing on this 26-inch armor off of a Japanese Yamato class battleship. Now this 26-inch armor was most likely intended for a Japanese Yamato class battleship, possibly the IJN Shinano, which was actually converted into an aircraft carrier before it was turned into a battleship, so this plate probably wasn't needed, or one of the many others that the Japanese had planned to build before the war ended in 1945. What we do know is that this plate was actually intended for the main faceplate of one of her turrets. You can actually see the curved piece down here was actually where one of the gun ports would have been for the large 18-inch guns.
This 26-inch thick section of armor plate was found at the Kure Naval Base in Japan after the end of World War II and brought back to the US for testing. The damage is the result of a 16-inch US naval shell impacting it during ballistics testing at the Naval Proving Ground in Dahlgren, Virginia in October of 1946. Over 12 different armor plates ranging from 3-inch to this 26-inch plate were brought back from Kure. All were tested with different types of ordnance to see what their strength was. They were also subjected to metallurgical examination to find out what they were made out of.
And why do we know this was intended probably for a Yamato class battleship? It's because it is a Vickers hardened, face hardened, non-cement piece of armor that was usually found on Yamato class battleships.
During the tests, the plates were secured approximately 400 feet from the muzzle of the test guns, and the plates were angled as they would be if they were installed on board a ship. With the 26-inch section, a 16-inch gun was used.
Now, during the test at Dahlgren, this plate was actually subjected to fire from a 16-inch U.S. naval gun, and as you can see, it impacted right about here. Now, the plate itself, this would have been the upper portion, and there was a lower portion where I'm standing now, so the plate is actually on its side. And as you can see, when the impact happened, the plate cracked in half. We're not sure if there was any damage to the 16-inch shell that went through, because it went through the armor plate, went through the berm, and actually ended up in the Potomac River, never to be found.
The report states that 10 of the 12 plates were found to be inferior to average quality against U.S. ordnance. The metallurgical investigation revealed that the Japanese plates had a greater amount of dirt in the metal, and did not have the hardness that was intended. But even with all of that information, it still leaves one of the greatest what-if questions of World War II. What if an American Iowa-class battleship went up against a Japanese Yamato? We may never know.
And this 26-inch plate is actually on display here at the Washington Navy Yard in historic Willard Park, along with a lot of different other artifacts. And if you would like to learn more about this plate and other artifacts, please visit the website of the Naval History and Heritage Command, history.navy.mil, and we'll see you at our next Artifact Spotlight.